Hello fashion lovers, welcome back to my channel. Today it is this beautiful gown that I will be cutting in this video. All right, if it is what you're interested in, please make sure to subscribe to the channel, drop a comment on the comment section and like the video. Okay, so this particular gown, looking at it, you think is just a normal gown where you make pleat at the down. This particular dress, it does not have cuts anywhere. It does not have joining at the waist or at the below the waist. It doesn't have any half cut anywhere at all. In fact, this plate you're seeing at the down part of it started from the up all through to the down. Okay, so for you to make this dress, I actually took out my time to zoom. All right, when it comes to fashion, you take out your time to understand the style and where the creator of this style is actually coming from. So I took out my time to zoom, research, and I look for different pictures that are clearer enough, and I realized it's pleat all through from the shoulder to the down part of the gown. All right, so for this dress, this is the measurement I'll be working with. Okay, my bust is 36, waist 30, hip 40, half length 16, gown length 36. We are adding 1.5, for the joining and the folding. Then bust point 10, nipple to nipple 8 divided by 2 gives us 4. All right, now for my bust, waist and hip, you can see after division I added 2 inches. What is the 2 inches for the sewing allowance? It is not compulsory you add. You can decide to add your sewing allowance when going to the fabric, but I decide to add it now. Now this is my pattern paper. All right, I've marked my shoulder, which is 8. I'll go ahead and indicate my armhole depth. Remember, this is a sleeveless dress. You can work with 7, 7.5, not bad. I indicated my bust point, my waist, and my hip line. For the hip line, I'm working with 25. All right, so these are the lines. All right, properly marked. So this is the waist, and this is the hip, and here will be the gown length of my dress. Okay, now I'm a fan of always cut it out on pattern paper. If it is not giving you what is on the picture, it will not give you what is on the fabric. Okay, it will, even when you try start do that on fabric, you'll not get the result. So I've marked my right at the bust. I'm to mark my bust measurement plus 2 inches, which is the sewing allowance. Right at the waist, my division plus 2 inches of sewing allowance, and the same thing at the hip. Okay, 2 inches extra. You take your rule and connect. Now for this first step, you can connect your gown a line or normal straight cut, whichever one, or just like this that I placed it. Anyone you decide to work with, it is very much okay. All right, either slanted this way or you go this way. All right, whichever one is very much okay. The difference is not much. Now on the armhole, you need to curve your armhole perfectly well. All right, now once you've done that, the next thing is your darts, your nipple to nipple. For this case, I did not add any half inches to my nipple to nipple. I actually marked accurately. 8 divided by 2 gives me 4. What I'm marking is 4. All right, from the shoulder to the gown length, I'll go ahead and use rule and connect it in a straight line. All right, now to make sure the line is straight, that is why I connected, I marked it in different parts so I can connect it easily. Now you come at the waist, you take half inches. What are we trying to do? Just our normal waist dart. Okay, just our normal waist dart. Now Once this is achieved, the next thing is you need to divide the remaining other part of the dress into two. Right here, divide it into two, get the middle. The middle is about 2 3/4. Okay. Then you go ahead and mark it all through. That 2 3/4 plus half inches, that is about 3.5. Okay, that is what I'm marking. All right, just go ahead all through to the down. Take your rule and connect it again, just like I did earlier. Now, this is how the down part of this pleat is. You can see the center and two extra. You see that? That is it. This is how the down part is. All right. Now we need to slash and spread. That is the pattern we'll be using to achieve this pleat. All right. So we'll do slash and spread. So you can see I'm cutting. All right. Now this particular dress, it is very important before you cut anything on the neck or any other part, it is very important you finish your pleat. Okay, you have to finish the sewing of your pleat, especially the upper part of it, before you work on the neck. Okay, so you can see I'm cutting the sides, so I'll just go ahead and slash. You can see I have 3 pieces. Okay, I have 3 of it. This is how it is. Okay, and I've gone ahead to label it 1 2 3 so I do not make mistake. Now once you have this 3 piece, the next thing is get your fabric. I'm assuming this pattern is my fabric, but first thing first, what I'll be doing here is cut my back first. This pattern is folded into 2. I had to use tape to hold it down, assuming it is not held down, so it is folded into 2. Now for the back of this dress, there is zip allowance, and once you have zip allowance, you have to make provision for zip. The maximum you can go for your zip allowance is 1.5. But for the cost of this video, I just marked 1 inches as my zip allowance. Then you can see how I drew it close, 4 inches. Now this 4 inches I'm measuring is at the hip. Do not measure it where the part that has that is the waist. Measure it the part that is straight. So this 4 inches is not the highest. I think this 4 inches is the minimum you can spread it. For a beginner, please work with 6. Okay, for a beginner, work with 6. So here too, for 4 inches. All right, come here to 4 inches. Then once you indicate it, you bring the papers close. So the space in between these pieces are 4 inches all through. Here 4, all right, they are all 4 inches all through. Yours can be 6 7. Then here I will be adding extra 2 inches when cutting it, so I'll have more space. Okay, so this is it. All I need to do is leave it the way it is and cut. The side is what I'll be cutting. Now this armhole part of it, I'll leave some space. I will not be cutting it exactly, just half inches. While here I'm going with 1.5 on the side here. Then we cut. Minimum you should go for this is 4 inches, except the folding you want to do is very tiny. 4 inches is the minimum. You can go up to 5 6 7, okay, even 10. you can do that. Now, having cut this, I'll come ahead as you can see where I'm launching my scissors. You see where I'm cutting. I'm just giving it a tiny cut. Why? To indicate where here tough to here, the parts that so I don't forget or I don't need to start using tape to measure. These are the places that will be folding. All this cutting is just to make it easy for me to know here to here needs to be folded, here to here needs to be folded. All right. So this is it. What we have so far. Okay. So what next is I'll use this back pattern to trace my front. How? The difference between the front of this dress and the back is the zip allowance. So when placing it, I'll take out the zip allowance here. Will be shifted out. Then concentrate on every other part and cut it exactly. Alright. This part, you see that? So I'll just go ahead and cut. I do not need to mark, start doing spread again. Alright, so I need to hold it down here firmly. Now, once I'm done holding it and everything is intact, I'll cut from the side, only the side that will be cutting, just like you're seeing right here. Only the side that will be cutting. So let me go ahead and do that. Now in this case, I've already added all the allowances. All I need to do is cut accurately, no much difference. You see that? Another thing I'll do is that same notch, tiny cut I gave here at the upper part and the down part. I will equally transfer it, to you see these tiny cuts here, tiny, seeing them. I will equally transfer it to the front. It will enable me when folding to know that from here to here is where I need to fold. From here to here is where I need to fold. It is very important. All right. The same, I'll come down here too, make sure I give it that tiny cut. All right. Here and here. This is it. So, having indicated the part that needs folding, the next thing is for us to start folding. This is box. This is what you're to fold. Now, this is the back of the fabric, the wrong side of the fabric. If you're to fold, this is how you fold. The back side should be kissing pleat. When you kiss it, when the back is kissing pleat, the front will give you a box pleat. You can see how I'm doing it. I'll just, fold it for you to see. Then I'll go ahead and finish it up before showing you. This is how it will be. Okay. It has to be sewn. Okay. So at the end, this is my back. Okay. I've actually, pleated it. Now, for me to sew this, where do you see here? Here, you hold the two of them and sew together. Now, your sewing will not be extending to the gown length. Your sewing will be stopping either at the waist or you come down a little bit after the waist. You sew this way like I'm holding it. After sewing it, you make it look box pleat to be box pleat. Okay. Now, this is my back. You already know it has zip allowance. You can see the front. This is it. Now, if it's sewn, it will be stitched up. All right. Once this part is held, the down part will give us that. Now, this is it. I held it down. This is the front. Basically, you can see the effect on the down. to be sincere with you, achieving this pleat is not easy. I think the hardest part of it is not the cutting. It is pleating this that is the hardest part, to make sure you get what you're supposed to get. All these upper parts, I use pin to hold them. All right, when you stitch them, it holds down better. This down part will not be stitched because it has to be, be opening this way. All right, this is our front. Okay, now having achieved this, the next thing is for you to fold your front into two. Yes, you need to fold your front into two because you need to cut the neck. Okay, now this is a Sabrina neckline. All right, just that the back is completely strapless. All right, so I measured my shoulder and I still have shoulder 8. This particular neckline, the neck width has to be wide. The minimum you can go is 4.5. The maximum you can go, you still need small tiny space left. So, but for the cost of this video, I will be working with 6 inches. So that by the time I finish sewing and everything, it will just be tiny left. Now for the depth, our neck bone is 3 inches. You can see the neck depth is not at the neck bone. So working with 4.5 is not bad. It is not bad. You can work with 4, you can work with 4.5. I think the minimum you can work with is 3.5. Okay, so determine what you want. Okay, now this is it. It has to be wide. So that is why the neck width has to be wide. It's not neck width for 4 or 3.5 inches. No. I went for 6 inches. You can go for 7 inches. Why I went for 6 inches is because what I will have left, so that I'll have enough space for sewing. I do not want to be short, of space at the armhole part, the shoulder part. Then I'll just go ahead and cut. Now, any kind of neckline you want, it is your choice. All right, it mustn't be this one that I'm cutting. Any neckline, have it in mind, you must be done with the pleat before you cut the neckline. It is very, very compulsory you do that to avoid, making mistake. This is how it came out. Okay, by the time I finish sewing it, it will still reduce more. So slant it, just a little bit. By the time I finish sewing, what is left will be more tinier. Now let's work on the back. The back of this dress is more like a strapless back. All right, and there's can see how it is. It went down. Okay, now but for me, it mustn't be as down as this lady's own. It is your choice. This space is zip allowance. So from here, you determine your neck depth. This is the waist. I just indicated the waist. It didn't get to the waist. All right, and this is a 12. All right, so whichever way you want yours to be, it is your choice. Okay, now having marked here, and we have 12, and here is 16.5. I'll use my curve. You can see how I'm placing it and curve it. So you can see, you use this, place it. Now this particular circled place must be the same with the front. And if you decide to go more deep by the zip allowance part, it is your choice. But whatever you're marking, this circled part has to remain where it is, because that is the joining part between the front and the back. So the deeper it is, it has to be at that circle. Then you cut. Now it is not compulsory yours has to be 12. You can change it if you choose to. It is your choice. All right, but with what we have in the picture, it is a little bit down. So let's go down a little bit. Okay, so you go ahead and cut. Now for this particular dress, this is crepe. What kind of fabric can I use to make this? Crepe is better off. Any fabric that is not stretchy, that can, stay firm. Crepe is better off, all right? And facing is perfect for the finishing of the, necklines, the armhole, the back of this dress. Facing gives you a neat, perfect job. So this is the front and this is the back. They have to join here. All right. Now, there's something I need to explain. I equally noticed that on the joining by the side, there's still a pleat. When you join this part here that I'm holding right now together, you still need to pleat it here. When you join it together, you pleat it. So when you're joining, you will not be joining it with and let me take out the sewing allowance. No, you hold it down with either 1/2 inches or 3/4. Then you pleat the excess. Remember, you have to equally sew it up the same way you sewed the other part of the pleat. So there is an extra pleat by the side. So have that at the back of your mind. And another way is you can decide to cut this all through without having joining by the side. Just like you have it now, all you need to do is place them. Okay, place them on a long fabric and trace them out. So this is our back and our front. All right, this strap will connect to the back. Now my neck, you can see what is left is wider. When sewing, right, by the time I finish sewing, it will be reduced. Okay, so guys, this is how you go about it. All right, if you have any question, feel free, drop it on the comment section. If you want me to, work on any style, drop the name of the style on the comment section. And remember to subscribe and give this video a thumbs up. Thank you for always watching. See you on my next video.